right, welcome to the Broskiedoodles Podcast. My boy BJ, like always, is joining me, and we also have Tavo. He's been in a recent episode talking about what it means to be a man, and today we're gonna talk about simps. Now, I'm not too knowledgeable in the area. That's why we have an expert come in. But we're gonna be learning a bit of what simps are and how this dynamic plays with men and women in relationships. So Tavo, you're known in the channel to be straight to the point. Explain to me and John, that we're not maybe too knowledgeable of the area, but maybe we know it in a different way. What are simps? What is the simp phenomenon happening? And what it is. Explain it to us simply.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kiko. Once again, happy to be back here. And the best way for me to start is just going to be the Urban Dictionary definition that we have for simps. If you go to Urban Dictionary, it's definition 3 for those of us that are following along with Urban Dictionary. And so simp is a word that everyone overuses without the correct definition. That's how it starts. It means a guy that is overly desperate for women, especially if she is a bad person or has expressed her disinterest in him, which he continues to obsess over. They're usually just virgins that accept coochie from anyone regardless of who they are. And that's Urban Dictionary. They're writing coochie, but
I thought that was coming from your own. That little last part was you.
No, that was not me. That's Urban Dictionary on that piece. Another very simple, the top definition they have, which I think doesn't give it enough, but it's someone who does way too much for a person they like. So that expands it past men, but usually simp is used toward men. That's how the phrasing is used. And so I'll go into the example of where we've seen it more common now, which is going to be towards e-girls. And I guess I'll probably define that. So e-girls are going to be women that stream from certain services like Twitch, YouTube. More common I've seen it is in Twitch, where it's a woman who either plays video games, does chatting, if you're familiar with the ASMR, which is where they speak into a microphone and just they want to make you hear certain things. So that's where men usually simp. And to give you an example for you guys that want to know what's going on, this is where men will donate money to these e-girls for attention. And the values can vary significantly. It can be as simple as just subscribing to their channel. It can be like $5, $10. It can get a little drastic. Men start giving in the hundreds of dollars in there. I don't know what the maximum amount of simping has been, but it can get pretty expensive. Like they are giving the money. These simps have money and they are donating it.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we get into like the nitty gritty, like the social dynamics behind it, is there like an origin for the word simp? Like, cause it almost sounds like, back in the day, Sims, like when you used to, like, I don't know if I heard it somewhere, like Sims is related to Sim, like back when you used to play like Sim City and you control a character, but maybe that's.
So, I can help you out here, Kiko. So originally the word simp was a shortening for the word simpleton. And now it's become more of an insult. It's like it's an internet slang. And I'll go into a little bit more what we have on Wikipedia. I use all these sources. If we use enough of these sources, we're doing research. And so a simp from Wikipedia is an internet slang term, usually I can't even read. Pejorative meaning, Pejorative meaning.
Okay.
It means a person, usually male, who appears to be trying to impress a person too much, usually to the person of the opposite sex. But we are all encompassing. You can be a simp for the same sex. It doesn't matter. You can simp for
At
everyone.
This stage,
like
simping
is this day
has
and age?
Evolved.
Yeah, they have evolved. You can simp a man, a woman. It doesn't matter. Simping is simping. It don't matter who you with. You're gonna simp. So yeah, if it's just short, it's a simpleton. Like that's what Wikipedia. That's where it's come from, and you can see it. Like it's not Sim City, but it's simpleton. But you were close. I mean,
when I hear this, it reminds me. Sorry, I have I have a condition. I was when you were saying this, it reminds me of something that we might already know of in like the Latin community. Like in Venezuela, it would be jalabola, right? So it would be like a sucker, right? Like somebody that's just like lingering and always like idolizing some dude. And we've always had, like that. I don't know in the Latin communities that you guys know what would be the name, but this concept I've seen it in the past. Now I do think it's very interesting what's happening with the e-girls, because it's weird, right? Like there's men that would have never gone and approached this girl, right? But they get this little portal where they can get just some girl to address them like, oh, thank you for your donation, and this guy just gave 200. And I mean, it's weird. Like technology has allowed this type of dynamics to take place that would have never taken place before. And men that in the past, I mean, because you could put it the other way, like this men, they are getting something out of it, right? Even though we, in our mind, we're like, okay, these guys are simping hard as fuck, which is like a word now I'm coining and using, as if I casually have used it. But they're simping hard, but they're getting their money's worth. Would you say a little bit? I don't know, like, because they are getting some hot girl to, or you think they're just themselves wanting to not recognize how dumb they're being so that they could just have that experience.
So on that one, Kiko, that's what I wanted to bring to the podcast. It's like, what are they getting from it? Because I understand before. I'll give you an example here. This is an adult show, correct?
Yeah,
so we can do adult topics. So I'll give you an example of what I try to relate it the most would be for men going to strip clubs. Correct? So you go to a strip club so you can see live naked women, you can get lap dances, and then you give them money for their services. Correct? So that was the closest thing that I could do to relate it to a simp. Because when you go to a strip club, these women, usually from the Miami area, are significantly better looking than your average woman, just because they're designed and they're trained and they're hired to be that way. So you give the extra money so
they're bred for that market.
Yeah, exactly. So they're hired that way. Like the when they go to the interview, there's certain things that they have to pass, and that you're there. So as a man, you're giving this money to them because like, wow, I cannot see this at home. I can't see this on the regular. I have to pay for this type of service. Right. And and you do what you do. You get your lap dance. You get excited. You're happy, having a good time. And that's what I related simping to. But here's the difference. This is why I want to bring up conversation. Like, what are they receiving? Because when you give money to an e-girl, you're only really getting back like a hello, a thank you so much. You may be getting like, as when you subscribe to a Twitch channel, you get like these little emotes that they give you that you can put in chat for being a top subscriber, that sort of thing. That's what you're receiving, but you're not really receiving anything physical. It's all mental that you're getting back. So maybe the rush of them speaking to you, depending on the type of person that you are, like drives something into your brain, just shoots up that dopamine or serotonin into your mind that gets you excited, and you're like, what a good use of my money to get my brain that little burst, instead of the physical way of the strip club that I mentioned. So
like, would you argue that if you go to the strip club, like you wouldn't, because you're comparing it like, oh, you're simping at a strip club. I mean, I myself, I'm not a strip club guy, but I would assume that people that do it, you wouldn't be really considered a simp, as you're getting like a physical thing for your dollar, right? Like you put $20, or would you say it's just a lower level simp? I mean, what I'm trying to compare here is like, at least in the strip club, this girl has to, rub against you for 15 minutes to get that money, right?
15. The fuck?
Well, sounds like John needs to give us some more feedback here as to what happens at the strip club.
You get 3 minutes if on a good day.
On a good day, and that was what, like 20, and that's $20.
So, John, give us a point of reference as far as money, time, and what you get at a strip club.
Oof. So I'm the strip club expert.
You're the expert. You're here for your expertise.
You know friends that go cash.
Yeah, you have a lot of friends. So I'm asking for a friend.
My friends that I talk to that go on the regular, the going rate usually is about $25 for a song. but the DJ cuts the song short anywhere between 2 to 3 mintes, more or less.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. What a piece of shit. But
let me get the remix, dog.
That's the going rate for that. And then the champagne room, you know, you've heard Chris Rock's song. There's no sex in the champagne room, but the champagne room costs about $70 just to reserve the room. Mm-hmm. And then that's outside of whatever you agreed to talk to the girl about, whatever you guys are gonna do inside.
Right. Okay.
Which is
so
not,
which
which
could
is
run
not
you,
sex.
which
Which
could
is
run
not
you
sex.
What
Right,
are some
not
going
sex.
rates so we can compare numbers?
For not sex?
For
Yeah,
not sex.
for not sex.
Sex.
For not
not
sex,
sex.
and just talking.
Yeah, like
just
get
with
some
mind
numbers.
exploring.
Just
exploring.
like your own quiet little space to have a conversation with this girl.
Mhm.
You're looking at anywhere between $200 to $500 for not sex.
Plus the 70, so we're looking at an average of $400 or $500 total.
So minimum 270 to 570. That's the range of the not sex having, and depending on the woman that you bring, you're in that range. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so we're gonna keep these numbers as a point
and also
of reference.
clarify that regardless of what not sex you're getting, there is some physical interaction going on because they're there. They're present in the physical sense. They're with you, at least talking. You know, like she has to dedicate this time to you.
Right. At the very least, you get a continuation of the friction zone.
Okay.
Because that's what the $25 per song thing is called, the friction area.
Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Another question to help with the examples I want to bring up. So how much time do you have when you're in that 270 to 570 range? Like, is it a set time limit? Do we reserve this for the hour sort of thing?
On average, it's reserved for half an hour.
For half an hour. Okay, so it's 270 to 570 for half an hour. The reason I say this is because we're doing the not sex, but you may also be talking to your stripper. Is that a good word for them? To your stripper.
To your adult entertainer.
Thank you. I need to get with the time. So to your adult entertainer, and the reason I say this because if we wanted to talk to somebody, a therapist can cost like $100 to $200 an hour. So if you double, so they're a little bit more expensive than a therapist, but they are significantly better looking to you than a therapist because you
and the therapist is not necessarily gonna be in the friction zone,
right? And they're not gonna be in the friction zone. So you get a little bit and that so you're getting something. So you're getting a human connection. You're getting to speak with someone. She's usually on her game to entertain you because she's mentally ready to basically listen to you, speak with you, and be a semi-therapist as we friction zone our way.
And you're getting physical stimulation nevertheless, even with the not sex.
Even with the not sex.
Because she is dancing and rubbing up on you, which is legal in the state of Florida.
Legal. Yeah, we're doing the legal stuff.
So if we explore more or less your definition of simping on the Urban Dictionary site, there was also one that said simping is the act of treating a person like if they were a boyfriend or a girlfriend without even knowing the person, just as an acquaintance. And you surprisingly enough, one of the most common requests that strippers get is the girlfriend experience. So they guys come in to want to have somebody to talk to, somebody to talk about their how they're doing, and make them feel wanted, make them feel appreciated, or acknowledge that they even exist, and so simping goes beyond just the physical.
The digital.
It's more of an emotional, mental thing. There's something wrong with people.
See, this is why we needed John Heidel's expertise. He knows friends. We didn't know that was a common request.
Right.
For the adult entertainers.
This is the thing, though. In your experience, BJ, would you say? Because for some reason, I feel lean towards defending the strip club connoisseur community because it almost feels like, even though it's overpriced, I mean, not that there's like a fucking Kelly's Blue Book for fucking ass, but even if it's overpriced, you are getting the thing, right? Like you're getting the thing you're looking for. But would you say then there might be a spectrum of how, like, you could go to the strip club and just be a G about it, or you could go to the strip club and also simp? Like, would you say that? Like, because would you say you could go to the strip club or your friends and you could be like, yo, I own this shit, I pay for what I want, I fucking bargain my shit, I run these hoes, for example. Or you could be the duck.
Adult entertainers.
Okay, so then tell me, is going to the strip club the same as simping, or would you differentiate it?
Well, I would say it's simping with better rewards.
Okay.
Because you really don't know this person. You've only just met this person, like for the first time, and you're throwing $500 at them without knowing them. Why? Just to see their titties and ass? When you could do that for free online? What's the difference? What are you getting from this experience that you can't get from online?
Well, you're getting the physical.
The physical, but to a certain extent, like, okay, yes, the physical is right. The physical is there, but to a certain extent, you're also getting this human connection, like the to be able to connect with somebody else on a different level, you know, like, yes, there is the people that just go there to enjoy themselves, to have a drink, and maybe don't even throw money or don't even pay attention to any of the adult entertainers. But there's the big contribution comes from the guys that are just throwing money without actually knowing any of them or anybody, but they feel like, oh, this girl is adorable, I want to idolize her, and I want her to be my wife. So but in their mind.
To conclude a bit on the strip club part, would you say that there are some people that go into strip clubs and they sort of take advantage of the market that they're in and they have a fun time, but most people are mostly simping?
So I can add to that.
Okay, so, add to that.
There's different men that do different things at strip clubs. I'll give you an example.
There's levels to this shit.
Yeah, there are levels to the strip club, because not every man in there is trying to spend $270 to $570, for the room. So and I'll give you the example, like for a bachelor parties. So like the most common thing to do at a bachelor party is to go to a strip club. And when you go to a strip club from a bachelor party, you're going with a group of men, somewhere between like 6 to 8. It's usually a good bachelor party, and not every man there is trying to do everything. Some men will let the others spend money and just sit and watch and just enjoy themselves with their drink, watch the free show that the other peers are paying for. So they're like taking advantage of basically they're taking advantage of the simp's money, which is usually, like, to relate it, that's what we do. We just like, all right, you want to spend the money, you go ahead. Because she's gonna take her top off once she hits a certain level of money. Doesn't matter who that money is coming from. So some men are just sitting back. They're just, I'm here for my drink. I'm here to support my friend at his bachelor party and do that. And then there's the other men that are gonna spend the money to get him showing. They're gonna spend the money to go into the room. They're gonna spend the money to get really simping. Like, okay. So that's where we want to make sure that there's a difference. Not every single person at the strip club is doing this. Some of them are eating. Some of them are ordering food because they're just like, I'm just
like,
here.
Like in that Will Ferrell movie where they just go have breakfast at a strip club because it's just what they like, He's like, the sausage is good here. I don't know why.
Their sausage chicken wings.
No, but I like it that you say that, because I part of me wasn't feeling right by thinking like, oh, going to a strip club is just a simping, because like you said, there's a spectrum of what people go there to do. Some people go there and play the game. Some people simply have a win-win situation with the other people. And then there are some people that are like, all right, let's take advantage of these motherfuckers and simp the fuck out of them. I would assume the entertainers. Yeah. So, all right. So now going into the digital one, because this is, and of course, BJ, you can add, don't feel pressured if there's things that your friends have told you and you still want to talk about. Yeah, sorry.
I wanted to add one more thing. There's also the people that end up at a strip club after partying all night, and then like all the clubs close here in Miami, let's say at 2, and then some of them close at 5. So after 5, there's still some strip clubs that are open. They're like, well, I don't want this party. I don't want the night to end. Let's go to the strip club at 5 in the morning. So that's another spectrum of people that show up.
This is why we have the expert. We didn't know about the after 5.
I had been told tales of the strip club after party.
I'm not the expert. I just read the book.
I just keep myself informed. All right. So moving on, because the part that I think most of us might be more intrigued about is the digital part, because it's like the one where you're like, you cannot even debate you're getting something out of it. I mean, I guess mentally, like you said, Tavo, there's got to be some endorphins that are shooting off. But it's like, I've seen this shit because when I go to Twitch, you have that little section where all you have are these women that are like not doing anything, just showing you their tits. And you have guys that are like, oh, hello. And then like, so what is it? I don't know what it is that these people get out of this. I almost feel like, wouldn't you rather go and get an adult entertainer and you'll spend less money and get more fun out of it? But maybe they find, or you think they're shy? You think they're too shy to do this on the physical world? I don't know. I'm brainstorming here.
So I have a few thoughts, and the reason I'm doing this is because the thought hit me when I saw one of them e-girls. So I'll explain.
As I was donating $200 to her, it hit me.
as I was pulling out my credit card.
So the best way for me to explain it, it hit me the other day when I saw one of them e-girls, and I was like, I need to see more of her. So, and that's what triggered this conversation. Now, I am very frugal as a person. I am not going to give someone on the internet just random money. That it does nothing for me. I'm not going to give them money. But the reason I explain it this way is because when I saw her, I was like, oh my God. It was like I crushed on her right away, just like a natural, like when you were in school and you saw like this girl and you're like, and it just hits your brain like, what? Why do I like this girl? So that started the thought process, right? Of me going into it. So I've seen plenty of girls online. I've seen plenty of girls like, I've seen a pair of breasts in my face, and like I don't instantly love it. I'm like, okay, those are nice. I like to see them, but I'm not gonna give you money. I've seen plenty of tits in my life that I'm not gonna give you money this way just online. But then I saw one of the e-girls, and then I was in shock. She wasn't even naked. That was the thing. Like, she wasn't showing anything. Like, it was her face, it was her attitude, it was her like way of being that hit my mind a certain way that like made me want to see her more. Right. And I bring this like, and I share this to kind of see if we can get into the layer of why we simp. So me, I'm more like, I'm 32 years old. So I'll say that so the viewers know, like, I'm not a child. I'm not a 17-year-old. I'm not in college. I'm like, I'm older. So I know better. I understand where this is going. I understand what she's doing to get me to be attracted to her, but it's still hit me. It's still like I didn't subscribe to her channel because I'm not paying that money, but I did follow her. So like, so when she does go on, like I was like, oh, cool, let me see what you're doing. So just to see her, and like when I hear her voice, it does something for my brain, right? So it really does. It's like, man, I like hearing her voice. I like looking at her, but I'm not gonna give her this crazy amount of money. But that's me because I'm an adult and I understand that this is not it. But let's say you were not as like confident as a male, like you didn't know and you just had money. Like let's say you were like 22, 23, you just started.
Let's say you're
money.
a negative, right? You guys gotta watch the How to Be a Man episode where Tavo explained to me and BJ how to get to 0 and then up. So if you're at the bottom and you're not even at 0,
notebook.
Right?
Okay, sorry.
So if you're like at the bottom and then like. And you get these same urges, like that got or similar. Like you're like, oh my, I need to see her. I need to be with her. I have never seen a woman like this, right? Like that is, I'm assuming that is their goal. Like as the e-girl to be like, I need to be this like pristine and never before seen female that dudes really want to just donate money to me just by me being me. Then you would come out the pocket, because if me just looking at her and me following her, like it gives me enough to like, all right, cool. But if like, and now you give money, right? And then she says, oh, thank you so much, Tavo, for donating $200. You are so awesome. Thank you. I'm going to write your name. So they take your name. I'm going to put you on my wall of like all the other simps But
The wall of simps.
a wall of simps. But she writes your name. She shows you the name on the screen. Like show your name on the screen and then put you on the wall and just like get you excited for donating to her, right? So that's got to do something for them.
Fuck.
Like it's all mental.
Yeah,
like
this is like
I don't know if you
digital
guys, like,
heroin.
yeah, it's like it's a little bit of heroin. Like I don't even know how to explain it because like I don't know if you guys know like with coming, it's physical but it's also mental. So there's a mental climax, piece to it that's being stimulated. And I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. This is why we're having this discussion as to why
I'm just trying to come more often. You feel me?
The word is climax. The word is climax.
The word is climax. Thank you, John Hyder. That's twice. Thank you. So when you want to climax, like it's physical, but it's also mental, right? So it has to hit something. So as you're climaxing, you remember, oh, this e-girl said my name. Oh, she did all this, and like it just gets excited. And the reason I say like something, this is real. Like, and it's just what I tell our viewers, like this is not us making something up. This is you can go now to like
you
Twitch.
Can go now and subscribe to,
and you can see that there are men that are giving this money. Like, and it's doing something for them.
I've seen it.
Like, it's a live thing. Like, you can go now, whenever this airs, you can go to a Twitch, go to the Just Chatting, look at the women that are like showing like their boobs on their little picture, and you'll see. You're gonna see. Like, it doesn't matter which one. All of them have some sort of simp behind them.
You know, I find it very well. First of all, I thank you, Tavo, for actually coming to the story with an actual experience of you actually being introduced into simping, you know? So it's like you're telling me, look, I'm talking about this because I myself feel like I went into simping a bit, right? And it actually helps me understand how it could get further because I could definitely understand where you at, right? Like I can see how you can get there. And then if you're there, maybe not you, but someone else, like you said, that might not have their shit together in their brain, right? Maybe a young kid that hasn't seen a pair of tits in fucking UF and Gator Growl, right? Like maybe that kid is like, wait, I can pay $5 and I can see that girl in HD, boobs, all this thing. He's like, what? This is a bargain.
Yes. So I wanted to present where it might start. Now, this is my example of where it might start. It may start for other men differently, but I also wanted to go into the next level. So Twitch is the start of like where you simp. There is another website. The other website is called OnlyFans. And on this website, you can pay for very specific pictures. Some of them are just like sexy in nature. Like they're a little bit sexier than you would get for free on like Instagram. And then some of them are like pornographic.
Okay.
And you can pay for this. Like, so like, let's say you had your e-girl that you liked. And then she said, visit my OnlyFans. You get OnlyFans specific pictures that are like more secretive. And then some of them will give you some pornographic ones. Some of them won't, depending on your e-girl. So you can pay for that. And you can give them a certain amount of money. I'm not sure the dollar amounts. Maybe we can consult with our expert in life that has a bunch of friends.
With our connoisseur.
I have to go.
You can give us some numbers.
Fuck.
Let's get some numbers.
Some numbers. It all depends on the girl, the quality of the girl, who she is. Some of them offer subscriptions to their OnlyFans. Some of them have their OnlyFans set up for free. But they find a way to, to bleed you to a certain extent, in the sense of like, yeah, the OnlyFans is free. So there's some suggestive or provocative pictures, but then they also have the ability to send you like a DM, like an instant message, and they'll offer you, oh look, I just got out of the shower today. You want to take a look? $3. Hey, I just worked out today. I'm all sweaty. I'm all wet for you, or something like that. So like some suggestive like subtitle.
Damn.
$20. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Like mind ninjas.
There's like a layout, like a financial layout of how to set it up in the sense of like you could offer certain pictures and videos for a price. Oh, and then also have your subscription service where you have some suggestive pictures, and you could still, try to, like, I don't know, milk them, lechero, and milk them little by little, by picture, by video,
Okay, so this could
like
range from just paying $3 to $5 a month on a subscription to then adding little bits of features inside for like little personal share, which you probably send to a bunch of people. Okay, so would you say that at least on the OnlyFans, you're getting more than in the fucking Twitch? Because I almost find the Twitch like that's the hardest simping, right?
With the OnlyFans, you do get more, but not necessarily, because my friends that I talked to, I felt you there disappointed, like, but not really. My friends that I talked to did end up paying for a couple of the pictures, but it didn't show anything more than what was already on the free part or on the subscription site. You know, so I mean, it's still enjoyable. I mean, the friend that he told me,
right.
It's still enjoyable, but in retrospect, I wish I wouldn't have. I mean, the friend. That's what he said.
Okay. No, but yeah.
So you would say you got buyer's remorse after you bought a certain picture. The picture wasn't the quality that you got. Now you were upset with spending the money.
I'm gonna go with post-climax clarity.
Post-climax clarity.
Damn, what the fuck? Fucking Mr. Harry Potter over here.
I mean, there's you say it another way, but
yeah, I mean, post-nut clarity, yeah.
Post-climax clarity for the viewers.
This is an adult show.
I wish it was just an adult show. It's more than that. So okay,
wait, can I also touch up on another thing?
Yeah, of course.
The strip clubs and those OnlyFans sites, they're required for you to be, I think, 21 and over to have access to it. Mm-hmm. And some of the Twitch streamers can be up to 13 years of age, right?
That's a good point. You brought that up. Yeah, so you can watch Twitch any age. There's no age restriction in Twitch. They may put on their channel mature content, but that would not stop
you don't have to identify. You don't have to send like your ID for them to confirm your age. Now, this is something crazy. So would you say that a lot of this are just younger kids that wouldn't have access to like the more, older stuff? Because on Twitch, I mean, even the free stuff that you can watch, man, there's things there that is pretty bad. And let's get something out of the way. The ASMR shit, that's just porn with hiding, with camouflage.
That's just audio porn.
That's audio porn. And dude, they make it with like this like penis shaped microphones, and they make it look like, dude, they do things that are, because I've seen some of this, and they do things to make it look like it's a sexual act.
Yeah, that's another point I wanted to bring up. So the ASMR, that is actually a service that people are doing that I think is more than just someone being online and talking, because they're performing an act. Now, whether this act is considered X-rated or not X-rated, it's a very niche fetish. I think it's the word I'm looking for here. It's a very niche fetish of what people want to hear. So if you are into someone being in your ear that closely, because this is where your microphones are at, then that's something that you want, and you want to hear that, and then you subscribe to that and you pay for that because you're getting an actual service from the ASMR. So I don't necessarily think that ASMR is simping as more of like fulfilling a fetish. Like, and that's why I want to kind of give like the distinction. Like the ASMR is a fetish piece, whereas simping, you're not getting a someone specifically whispering in your ear doing a service like ASMR. You are getting like, you're just looking at an attractive female
Yeah, but
Or
you
male.
could argue that they're both getting. I mean, the end result, wouldn't you say, is the endorphin explosion, the happiness or whatever? Like, I mean, yes, it's sort of like you're justifying the ASMRing in a more just way, like it's more honorable. Whereas the other simping is like, well, didn't you say that you like this chick that you're seeing on E-Girl because of the way she thinks? So, a strip club is just a physical part, how hot she is. Here, you're getting into her mind, into her thoughts. That stimulates shit in you. Wouldn't you say that is also like, okay, maybe it's not considered a fetish technically speaking, but it's like in the same realm of you giving money to someone so that you can enjoy this thing that they do for you mentally?
I agree with that piece. So it's layered. The way you're saying it's like it's a layered question. So I have to like break it down piece by piece. So as far as like someone providing you a service that stimulates your mind, they both will do that. In a sense, they're both going to do something for you, and that's why you're watching the show. So you're watching like the ASMR, like the show, the TV. The reason I wanted to bring up like simping versus ASMR, because it's two different things, is like when you simp, this is specifically like that men are giving money and they're not really getting that much of a service back. Like I'll give you the slang term for simp. Like really, it's an acronym for like sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. Is and I say that to kind of like so that way you get into the right mindset
like we don't
of
think
what I'm
this.
referring
This is
to.
what like is written in the.
That is written in like that's online. That's not me making it up. This is online sources.
So you
and it's
putting the pussy in a pedestal.
Yeah, essentially, if you watched like movies from back in the day, that's what they're doing. It's like it's a man who invests a lot of time and energy into women who don't want him necessarily. Like they're just there. And I wanted to bring the distinction to bring up this next point. I also think that these services are catering to these women to attract the simps. Because like ultimately, I brought this entire conversation to be like, as men, we need to control ourselves and we need to not become simps. And I want to tell you the forces that are working against you as a man. They want your money. They want you to give them money. And I'll give you the number one reason that I know why they're coming at you. Twitch will no longer allow you to call somebody a simp on their chat at all. You cannot call somebody a simp. You cannot call somebody out for being a simp anymore. You get instantly banned for doing so. And to me, like you would think, oh, because you're insulting that guy, because you're like, you're making him feel bad about donating money, and which is the key. They don't want you to make anyone feel bad for giving money. They want you to keep donating money. They want you to keep the subscriptions coming. They want this money from you. So if the user it feels bad for being a simp, then he won't do it, which is a natural thing. You will tell your friend, hey, wake up.
They want to eliminate anyone who could shame you.
Yes, they don't want to shame the simps because they want that money. And you would think at first, oh, it's a good community. They don't want people to get insulted. They want to be respectful. Wrong.
Bullshit.
They want you to keep giving money, so they're gonna eliminate anything that takes away from you donating money.
Okay.
So go ahead.
No, tying this back to the other topics we've had in the past, like being a man in life, in the good sense of the word, if I even have to say that. Like, would you say that you kind of like warning people, especially men, like, look, there is this new thing that is gonna stimulate you so hard that you're gonna want to sort of fall in it, and the things are in place to fuck with you that way. And because of this, you're saying that this could make men less masculine, make men less men. Like, you think this force that we gotta battle? Like, is that the reason why we gotta battle? Because it's gonna fuck men up in a way? Like,
so I would say it is one of the pitfalls. I would say to come to this. Now, every once in a while, like the closest relation that I can give it to is to the strip club. Every once in a while, we may feel lonely, we may feel down, we may need some like um, some affection from somebody, and like that's where you give like that's where you spend the 270 to go into this room, like you go in there and you give the money, and it happens, like it's natural, like we can't find someone in real life, but I do want to. It's essentially like a gateway drug for once you start this process. So like once you start simping, like then it becomes easy for you to come out of the pocket. Just like, it's fine. I'll just give her $5 here. I'll just give this girl some money. I'll give this girl some money. And then you're just giving this money, and like they're just milking you at this point because of all the things that like you're just easily giving. Because it's very, let's put it this way, it's very easy to just donate money instead of bettering yourself.
Boom.
That's the go-to. It's very easy to just get the instant satisfaction.
I was feeling like you were getting somewhere perfect. So instead of, okay, I'm at -5, instead of working to get to that 0, I could just donate money. No, motherfucker, do it. Like, right, but the people in power don't want you to improve. They just want to get your money. Okay, and once you start simping in the digital form, which is it's a very easy paywall. You don't have to be present there. You don't have to feel the shame because you're not like like once you get in that little door, then you could just be more gullible to being simped in real life in all areas.
Yes. Once you start the process, it's just it's you go down the rabbit hole. You start just giving money. It's nothing to you. And the thing I want to present to my viewers is like, it happens to all of us. We all want certain things. We can all see someone that we're attracted to, and like we instantly start the crushing phases, the crush, like, oh my goodness, I need to be with this person. And we have to think back and really understand that like we want a natural, organic human connection, not a forced paywall connection where like I can only speak to this person by paying money. And this goes back way before the internet even happened. The internet just knows that we can do this online and make everybody feel good. But South Park even did an episode about this, about Hooters. If you guys don't know what Hooters is, Hooters is a restaurant where the women dress a little scandalous to show off, their boobs and their butts, where you could just go eat chicken wings and the women are just there as like a side piece for you. And like men would go to Hooters regularly so they can see a certain waitress. So this is not something new. It just has evolved into the digital age. Men have always given money to see beautiful women. Men
have always simped.
We have always simped.
It's not we went from analog to digital.
Yeah. Like and before Hooters, I'm pretty sure there was something back then that they did. I just only go back to Hooters. I'm not that old. So Right. I just want to make my new men, my younger generation, like be aware that they are hunting you. These women on Twitch and YouTube, they are designed to take your money. Okay. There's no, they don't love you. They don't even know who you are. They just want that money.
It's crazy how some people fall in that pit. But yeah, just to have a bit of conclusion here, BJ, do you think that you have friends that have fallen in the pit hole of any paywall? And what do you think might have helped these friends of you get out of those pits?
I mean, I've heard like the worst pitfall that I've heard of is I don't know if you know another Twitch or YouTube streamer by the name of Belle Delphine, where she actually sold her bathwater like on eBay for X amount of dollars. I don't know, like people were like paying ungodly amounts of money for this girl's bathwater that she had just been in. And then they were getting it and drinking it, and I don't get where, like, what do you like? I mean, it's weird. Obviously, it's like it almost goes into like the whole fetish, like attraction thing that Tao was talking about. That it's like we're so depraved and starving of not depraved, deprived and starving of a
You're
human
depraved.
connection. Depraved. We are depraved, but mostly deprived and starving for a human connection with somebody else that we're willing to spend money, but essentially the only way that you can acquire money is through time. So you're giving up time, you're giving up years of your life for this one moment of semi endorphin.
You're so thirsty all the time that any drink you'll go for.
And it's not even water, it's sand. Like it's not even it's a mirage. It's not real.
Okay.
And touching up on the Hooters thing, as a result of Hooters being so popular, so many other restaurants followed suit, and there's like 9 other restaurants that also have that same format, to the point where there's one that actually have the girls in bikinis. It's bikinis. Let me see. It's bikini.
For us viewers, where would that be?
Bikini Sports Bar and Grill, Texas and Oklahoma.
Okay.
Texas and Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, obviously it's more north, but there's a Twin Peaks.
I mean, just for the Broskiedoodles research purposes, we should visit it so that we can sit back and speak about it. For the experience.
We could do like a podcast over there. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Like for research purposes.
For research purposes.
Of course.
Okay, and so what are the steps that, like, if somebody might be close to falling in the pit holes of simping, would you say, for example, like Tavo, you could just watch them and not pay money and just do it every once in a while, just like as if you were watching a show, and that's safe, but don't go over? Or like, what would be the practical things? We want to give the viewers also not just the vague, abstract things, but also like the things that they could do tomorrow to improve.
Not just problems. We want solutions.
Solutions. Okay. So I always, we got to bring some solutions. My thing with the Simpsons, like, it makes it difficult of who I'm talking about, because usually
Houston, we have a problem.
Uh-oh.
Houston.
Oh, it's
We're hit an asteroid.
Oh no!
Broskiedoodles is real. We have real things happening. We're connected in 3 different time zones. It's real, It's real. BJ,
then right now that the little please stand by, technical difficulties little thing shows up.
well,
Talk to me.
while we maybe he'll join back. While we get him back, do you think, like, what are the things that you think people should do? Is there a safe amount of how much of this you can watch, or is it we should just try to avoid it at all cost?
I mean, dude, like it's really close to, almost having like a porn addiction, where even a little bit can set you off. Of course, because then, let's say you only watch, let's say 5 minutes a day, like you watch it, and then if it's something that you really like, when you're at work, you're thinking about, damn, I want to go back and watch that again, or I want to talk to this girl, I want to go. Even if you're not spending money, you're just attached to having this, like talking to this girl. And then it takes away from you being able to live your normal life. And it also contributes to the whole situation that you're in, because we have to think about what's happening behind the simp, like what is happening that's causing you to simp. Yeah, you don't have
it's the fact that you're not even comfortable with yourself, right?
Exactly. Like it goes beyond. It goes back into the whole, like, we have a problem. Like Houston, we have a problem. The problem is that we're all fucked up in our heads. So I don't know if it's talking to somebody. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it goes all back to what Tavo was saying in the last. Like, we just gotta, as not just as men, but as people, take responsibility for the shit we need to take care of, right? Like, we've been talking, me and BJ for a long time, and we've been doing some efforts into getting healthier, doing things right in your personal life, professional life. Those are the things that you gotta take care of, so that you feel comfortable going out there and meeting real people that are gonna give you real, valuable human emotion and experiences, right? And once
Right.
you're there, I would assume that, I mean, I'm happily with someone and shit, so I could say that, yeah, you get to a point where you don't have these urges. I mean, if you're confident with yourself and who you are, that will allow you to not be simping at least too much, right?
Right, but even then, you still have the situation where, yeah, you could have done everything to get to zero or to get to wherever you want to go, but if the person you want to be with doesn't want to be with you, that might also set you back, mentally, emotionally, because you in your mind you did all this to be with this one person, right? And then at the end of the day, that person rejected you.
Hey, Gus, you there?
I'm back. I think the quality might be different on audio. I'm sorry. I don't
That's
know what
fine. Just
happened to the
stay
internet.
there how you are, because we're closing. I just wanted to get the last words on what are the things that people can do practically, starting tomorrow to simp less. We were touching now that it all goes back to also improving yourself so that you yourself are confident to go out there and find real things, real emotions with people. What are the things that you think people should do starting tomorrow if they feel like they might be close to simping too hard out there?
So the first thing that you want to do is you have to admit that you're simping. It's the hardest thing to do. You have to admit it. And what I did, I instantly told my best friend that, hey, when I saw this, I told him, I'm like, I saw this girl that I really am attracted to more than normal. And I told him about it, because once you make it a real thing, it's like, okay, it's live. And if you simp or have simped in the past, you need to tell like someone you're confident with that's not going to make fun of you for doing so. It's going to accept your simping, that like, hey, we understand that you did that. It's okay. Like, you don't have to continue to do that anymore. And like, you need to speak with someone about it, and just tell someone you trust to let them know, hey, I give money to this woman because I really enjoy her. And you started that process. You make it aware, because once you're aware and like you're no longer secretively doing this, it's like doing a drug in a sense. Then you can get more help. Then you can tell like your friend, hey, I'm giving this money. Like, what should I do? And you seek help in a sense, that you don't have to give this money away. I would call this the correct way of doing things. I also have a cheat code of how to do this. So us men, I'm pretty sure all men watch some sort of pornography. So my cheat, this is not, this is going to save you money. This isn't necessarily going to solve the problem. But what I would do is find a porn actress that's similar to the girl that you're simping, and she has free videos online that you can see. Now, granted, this may create another problem.
Right. Like, this is a solution that could also be coming to like, the time where you mix heroin with cocaine and then shit just like.
Right. It can create another issue that we didn't want in the first place. So that's why I go with problem A. But problem B, like solution B, will give you a short term, like, get out of here, stop giving money. And then you talk about it and you explain, like, and speaking about why you simp will also get you to a solution. Because if you explain to someone, hey, she makes me feel like this, she makes me do this, when I give her money because it does something to my brain, speaking about it will help you find the solution to you, because there's different reasons for simping. Like, I gave you my example, like, wow, I really want to see this woman more. And that's just me. There's a lot of money out there. So there's got to be multiple reasons why the men are simping. So if you can speak to it, then you can find a solution that works for you. So I'll give you two beginning ones. One, tell someone about it. Tell someone you trust, and then they can start the process. And two, find a similar looking girl for free.
Okay.
And get that post nut clarity.
And get that post nut clarity, which is important. It's important. If you're not shooting 2 before lunch, you're not thinking straight. And this goes for any date, anything you have to do. Yeah.
So what if I now find a porn actress that looks similar to the girl that I was that I wanted a simp for, and now I'm paying the porn actress $49.99 a month. What do I do then?
That's why option B is not my preferred solution, because it can lead to now paying for a more high quality actress.
And you now having a porn problem.
But this is I'm talking about my friend, not me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I
right.
also think like it's a lot cheaper because of so much competition in the porn industry. That it's maybe like $5.99 a month or something like that. Like
and you get a lot more than with.
And you get a lot more videos for the. But
yeah,
I'm not an expert on these matters. I just comment on them.
Right.
Read the
I
blog.
just dabble.
No, I think those are the main. You know, I really love that. You know, first, like, you know, here we don't try to judge people. Like, first is recognize you have the problem, and that's totally fine. And you want to make sure you have friends that when you tell them this, they're gonna be like, "Damn, dog, I feels you. Let's find a solution." Not some motherfucker that's gonna be like, "You simp ass motherfucker." I mean, you could have friends that say that, and they also will help you. That's the type of friends that mostly us we have.
You can also have the friend that is also a simp and just makes you go deeper into that hole together. Like, it's like a journey now.
Yeah, you don't want that. If you're over 30, you don't want to have those friends. You want to have only the good ones that help you, even when they know they're in fault themselves. So talk to someone in the short term. If you need to just stop giving money, find a porn star that looks like her, and that will, that proxy will help you out for a few months until you actually fix the things in yourself that are gonna make you feel secure to meet real women or real men, whatever you like, which is totally fine in the Broskiedoodles, and find the things that actually make you feel happy so that you don't have to feel insecure in life and be simping out there. Is that good?
That's good. We're here for solutions. We present the issues, and then I just want to tell everyone that they are designed to take your money. So be aware of that. And I think awareness is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle, as the G.I. Joes say back in the day. Knowing is half the. Once you know, then you can combat. Like, they know that they're doing this to take my money, and understand where we're at. So find a way you can do
knowing
this better
is half
yourself.
the battle.
Yeah, get to zero, as we say here. Better yourself.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is a special one. BJ, Tavo, love you guys. Take care. Tune in, subscribe, and like the thing, thou.
Yo.
Love it.